I'm Darth Paradigm. Thank you. My cat knocking things down as he usually does. So let's just sort of have a conversation, hang out for a bit, and well, I'm gonna try something. I have a blade that's currently unused. It's a Vader's Vault Transloid blade, 32 inches long. So it's dual diffused and you know, kind of sanded. They're my favorite type of blade. And I had originally purchased the blade for a Genesis Custom Sabers Creed that I had bought secondhand off of eBay. And a rather expensive piece of kit. Very beautiful saber. It had CFX. That one was an in-hilt LED saber. Very much like my Bendu Armory Obsidian, my triaxial that you see here, which is kind of, you know, what led me to do this video. Now, the post office, well, you've probably seen my post. The post office, they lost my saber, so both myself and the seller are in the process of filing claims, and we'll probably both get our money back. But somewhere out there in the world is a rather expensive Genesis custom saber that neither of us will ever possess. So I'm a little bit bummed about that. I've been bummed about that for a while because I've been wanting to get my hands on a second Genesis custom saber's hilt for a long time, and that kind of fit the bill for what I was looking for. But as it stands, I'm just going to have to stick with my my Vector, which is pretty much my stalwart. If I had to select one saber that I was going to keep out of all the sabers that your General Grievous here has, my Vector is pretty much the one that I can't imagine myself parting with. And so I had bought this blade for it, as I told you, and so what we're going to do is we're going to swap this blade out. This should be hopefully a very quick video. And I've already filmed a demo of this in red. I'm not the biggest fan of the Bendu Armory blade. It's not diffused. It's a little bit heavy for my taste. I like a thinner blade, because I don't dual. Again, that's another story that a lot of you are probably familiar with. I would duel if I could. One of these days, I'm going to get out and visit my friends at Forged by Light and probably throw down with those guys. But yeah, it's probably not going to happen for quite some time because, you know, life. Anyway, so let's see what we have here. It gets kind of dirty on the inside of the blade holder, as you can see. That translates onto the end of the blade here. And if I remove this, you can see that this is a thin-walled blade, and this is rather thick. The Bendu Armory is rather thick. So, I mean, this is a right proper dueling blade, but it's a little bit too much gun for what I need. It does kind of offset the fact that, well, all the weight of a Bendu Armory Obsidian is here because that's where the chassis is. If I remove it, you can see, you know, this is just one solid hunk of metal. And this is all kind of a 3D printed chassis here. And while I'm at it, nope. Anyone there's a cat owner out there. The cats are constantly trying to kill themselves. They're like babies. They're so curious about everything. My cat wanted to eat a rubber band, and he's a senior cat. You'd think he would have learned, well, not to do that, but oh well. Anyway, so let's swap out the battery. As I will always tell you, make sure that you know, you get positive to positive, negative to negative with these more advanced soundboards, or with any soundboard really. If you cross the streams and get the polarities mixed up, you could fry the soundboard. Now, the thing about the chassis for the Obsidian is that it doesn't actually say anywhere on here positive to positive, negative. It doesn't actually. There's no symbols on here, which is not that I've been able to find. So it's a bit of a shortcoming here. You can look for yourself. And I don't know why they wouldn't write that on there. So what I do when I'm dealing with this particular chassis is I just make sure that I keep the battery in the same orientation as the chassis. Pay close attention and try not to screw anything up, because that would be bad. Very, very bad. There we go. So that's in there properly. And I'll slide that in here. Okay, put that off to the side. And put in our new blade. Okay. It's a little bit on the tight side. That's kind of unfortunate. It's always something. Always something. Let's see. I like to get the blade in there as deep as they'll go. Let's see. Now, for some reason, and I think that's probably a configuration issue, the soundboard doesn't remember the blade colors that I've chosen for each of the individual fonts, and I haven't been able to figure out why that is the case. I'm sure another friend of mine, Grey Paladin, will probably elaborate on that, but let's see, which one do I usually put in first? I think I usually put the, if I'm not mistaken, I usually put the cover tech wheel on first. There we go. So I'm going to tighten it all the way just in case I have to maneuver the chassis a little bit so I can get the other screw in. I've gone over all of this in previous videos. So the blade holder on the Obsidian is, well, on mine it's rather tight, so that's another kind of thing to be aware of. Okay. Okay. Well, that feels much better. The weight is a lot less front heavy because I have a much more nimble blade on here. And so part one, it's about the weight and the balance of the overall, you know, saber, the overall hilt, and it's also about the LED performance, you know, through the blade. I found that the LED performance on that blade was all right, but you know, I felt it could be improved. Yeah, but overall, the balance, wow, that's remarkable. Before it was you know, probably about here. So yeah, this is actually going to be really nice. Now, if you've seen Darcephilus's reviews of the, he has quite a few of the Bendu Armory sabers. He has the you know, he kind of, I believe, has the full range of what they offer as far as the different types of hilts. Bendu Armory, I think they do have a kit or you know, something that they install that kind of offsets the weight. It attaches to the end of the chassis, which kind of brings the weight back a little bit. But for me, just adding a different blade on here, it's probably the best solution. Make this a much more nimble lightsaber, because as you know, this is all just hollow. It's just a shell. It's a polycarbonate shell. No, polycarbonate. It's not polycarbonate. It's what is it? Carbon fiber. Yes, it's a carbon fiber shell. Sorry about that. And the only thing that adds any kind of mass to the inside of this is the actual chassis itself. So what I'm going to do is turn out the lights, set this thing to red, and we'll do a little bit of a comparison. I'll show one after the other. I can't obviously show you them side by side because that's not how space-time and matter works. But you can kind of assess for yourself which blade you think is better. And then I'll swing this thing around for a bit, let you guys critique me on my my sabering skills, and I'll wrap up this video, and hopefully you will get something out of it. So anyway, that's the end of the talky part. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care now. Bye. Yeah.